One time, one of the first ones I built, we didn't have anywhere to store it, and we had it in our living room. And my wife posted a picture and said, how do you like our coffin table?
For years, I've spoken with artisans of all genres and walks of life. Each of the conversations always end with the same question: how do I make my passion work? Follow along as I speak with some of those creatives and doers about their fears, challenges, and most importantly, their ambitions. All while I travel the great state of Kentucky following my own dream. My name is Casey Page, and welcome to Kentucky Fog. Traveling down the roller coaster known as Highway 63, you will find yourself in one of Kentucky's most southern counties, Monroe County to be exact. The county's name was selected in honor of James Monroe, the country's fifth and at the time current president, while the county seat, Tompkinsville, was dubbed this after Daniel D. Thompson, who acted as the vice president during the same time. Tompkinsville has many more unique distinctions. It is home to its own style of barbecue characterized by its thinly sliced pork shoulder, grilled over hickory and slathered with a tangy vinegar-based barbecue sauce. You can find this culinary gem at places such as R&S Barbecue, Backyard Barbecue, and Hog Wild, to name a few. Like to play marbles? Monroe County has produced multiple world champion throwers, with the Marble Superdome located in the middle of Tompkinsville itself. The sport is handcrafted heritage, a great-granddad's gift to his sons and daughters, where it's not so much about the win as it is keeping the community together. This excellence is also evident in its woodcrafters, as is the case for Micheal Watson. Micheal is the owner and operator of the Wooden Casket, located in the town square of Tompkinsville, where he produces gorgeous one-of-a-kind caskets and coffins, giving new meaning to custom fit. If you would like to see a loved one placed to rest with modest family heirlooms, Micheal is a master craftsman here to assist with eternity.
I'm Micheal Watson. I'm what we call a casket maker. What started it out actually was my dad. We had done construction work. We worked together, just me and my dad, for several years. And he had a small woodworking shop, and he had gotten disabled to where he couldn't work with me anymore. So he decided he wanted to build his and my mom's caskets. So he found a plan from Rockler and ordered it. And over time, he had made his first, and then he got my mom's made and had them stacked up in the garage. When time came to need them, they was ready to go. In Kentucky, we do not have any green cemeteries yet. You have some that work for both, but specifically a green cemetery we do not have. But there's starting to be interest, and by ours being handmade and wood and everything, we fill that gap. And also home funerals. People have started going back and doing a home funeral instead of the expense of going to a funeral home. And we can provide that to them to where they don't have to involve the funeral home at all. Because you have several now, what they're called death doulas. Instead of a birth doula, you have a death doula who goes on and helps the family with the body and everything. Most of it was to give people an option instead of having to go to the funeral home, because our caskets are a lot cheaper than what they are at the funeral home, because we have less overhead and everything, and they're not handled by 2 or 3 different salesmen and everything. And especially with family and friends, wanted to just give an option to help was the main reason for starting it, and still doing it. I don't charge what they are at the funeral home because I want to help people with the cost. And each one is made one piece at a time. There's nothing that's mass produced. When I cut an angle on one piece to fit the other one, it won't work on the next one because each piece is put together one piece at a time. We had a smokehouse on our property that we tore down, And the lumber that we got off the boxing on that is what I made that beach casket out of, and it'd be the only one, because that's all the lumber. It's the only one there is. But a lot of the lumber came from my dad, who had it stored in his barn. And I moved lumber after he passed away and we sold the farm. I moved lumber for 2 weeks, nothing else but just hauling lumber from out of his barn for 2 weeks. And it's all stored in the basement here. In this basement of this building's full of lumber.
Wow, that's beautiful.
It feels really good. I mean, it makes me appreciate that the family allows me to provide a final resting place for their family, because I put all the love and the talent that I have into every one that I make. I mean, from the cheapest one to the most expensive one, I've had people ask me if I have made my own. I've made every one of them. So whichever one they want to put me in, I don't care, because I put just as much into the one that I first to the last. In this area, it's very difficult to run a business because of just the income and property. I could have done a lot more and made a lot more money somewhere else, but it's home and a great place to raise your kids. We have 3 children, and now we have grandkids, and the people help each other. And I had an uncle that passed away when he was 41 years old, and he had 20 something acres of tobacco in the field that was ready to harvest when he died. And the whole community got together, cut the tobacco, put it in the barn. Then when it came time to strip it, we all got together and stripped it and gave the money to my aunt. And it just one of the things that I remember. The first thing that I've learned is, and it's hard to remember and sometimes even hard to ask, when people contact us about a casket, the first thing we have to do is ask how large of a person they are. Because that's one thing most people never think about, and I never thought about it before. The casket has to be large enough to hold the person. And we make an oversized, and we keep 2 oversized caskets in stock. And that's just one of the things that's the starting point. I mean, you have to know what size the casket is before you can even go any farther than that. And then determining on what type of wood that they want. We have several different types that we use, and we like the one behind me. It is a maple and walnut mix, and we reverse them. The one beside it is the opposite, where we reverse the lumbers. And we've started making a basket casket. And this is an example of the one here. The ones that we're making now are cedar, and it's starting to become very popular. We've actually had interest from a funeral home about stocking one of those basket caskets. Yeah, we have several options that we provide if someone wants to provide their own lumber to make the casket from, whether it's off of an old barn off of their property, or even whether it was sawed off of their property. We have done several where they provide. I have 2 here now that from my relatives that they provide. I went down to their farm, and they had this cedar lumber stacked up in the middle of a field with some tin thrown over the top of it. And they said it'd been there for 20 years. And that's what they wanted their caskets made out of. So I went down to the farm and picked it up, brought it up and worked it up and made their caskets out of this old cedar lumber. And we've offered that. We have people call a lot of times, ask about shipping, and we are capable of shipping nationwide. We have boxes made that we can ship the caskets in. But if someone retired or whatever and they wanted to bring their own lumber, and they could stay. We have an Airbnb next door to us that people could come and stay, and we've offered that where they could watch their own casket be made. Or and sometimes possibly if they wanted to help a little or something, to personalize it, to know that they had a hand in their own casket. Even though it's something most people don't like to talk about, it's something that we're all going to need, and we try to make them as personal as possible in something, instead of something that's manufactured in Mexico or China and then brought over here and marked up and sold at a high price, for something that's made in a factory somewhere else instead of a handmade object. I have recommended to other woodworkers and everything, if you can build your own, do it. I mean, why go? And that was what my dad said about why he built his and my mom's, is he didn't want us to have that expense. So he wanted to have it so it would be ready at that time. And anybody that's capable, why not build it?